It's Thursday, August 4th, and we're recording class today. Apparently, you guys have never seen a video before. And we're going to get into things. Wow. Have you never watched a streamer? I could say, what up, homies? Or whatever, anything like that. Hey, listen, what's important is you like and subscribe. And then we should begin. Y'all are special. So up here, yesterday, we had a short class period with you guys because 5th, 6th, and 7th were a wee bit shorter. I get to have more fun educating you today, so it's going to be way better. So let's see what we can get through. One, on here, whenever I ask a question and I have it aimed at something, you guys, did I talk about raising hands yesterday? No, we didn't get that. So typically whenever I do my teaching thing, you don't have to worry about raising hands because if I have a question that I want to call on you, I just look into your hearts. I don't use hand raising. I just sort of look into my own teacher heart and your hearts will speak to me. And I'll just go, Cameron, what are your thoughts on, and I just go right to whichever kid I feel I need to call on. And so your hearts will speak to me. If I don't say a kid's name, that means it's open to all of you and you get the chance to yell at me. As in the first one, I go, hey, when is your notebook due? This is open to all of you, and you would say? Friday. And that would be the wrong answer, which would make me ashamed of you, because the correct answer would be? Monday. Which is like Friday, but spelled differently. So good job. Your notebook is due on Monday. What day is the picture of you due? Friday. That was slightly better. I would also accept tomorrow. So the picture of you is due either tomorrow or Friday, and then the notebook is going to be due coming up on Monday. That was a bit of a struggle, but baby step. We're getting there on that one. All right. Today's schedule is slightly different than yesterday's. The reason being is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have a thing called Best at the end of the day, which is going to be a half-hour like study hall. You're going to have every Tuesday and Thursday to get extra work done. We have that class today, even though you don't really have homework except maybe math, because I know math teachers hate kids even more than I do, so there's a chance they gave you work. But for the most part, you're going to do like, in 4th period, you guys had to do like those PowerPoints about how not to be a turd child. You're going to do the same thing during Best today about how not to be a turd child. And so class periods are the same order. It's just Tuesday, Thursday, they're slightly shorter, and then you get a half-hour bonus at the end. Michael?
Is it an option to go to Best?
No. I mean, you can close your eyes, but you're going to be there no matter what. Yeah.
You can choose which class you go to, right?
Whoever your 7th period is who you're going to be with for Best. So those of you who have math 7th period, you can just go ahead and start crying now. It's okay. So hopefully you like whoever your 7th period teacher is, because Tuesdays and Thursdays you get an extra half hour of fun with them. If you don't like your 7th period teacher, good luck, because you get an extra half hour with them, unless you try to run away. Then that becomes like a you option on that one. So yeah, it's going to be an extra half hour with that teacher on those days. Continued goals from yesterday. You're going to continue judging your teachers. Hopefully you guys did a lot of teacher judging yesterday and had your opinions formed of them. And then you got a chance to go home yesterday and tell your parents about your teachers and stuff like that. Did you guys go home and tell your parents about the big people? No? Did you guys go home and talk about me at all?
Yeah.
If it helps, you're going to have even more things to talk about today. So when you come home, they're like, so what was that? Time out. Time back in. All right, and then from there, let's see. So you've been judging you got a chance to talk about me. We're going to give you more things to talk about today because hopefully we get to even more of the fun stuff. So hopefully we'll send you home with even more stories. I've also been judging you. Some of you I've been able to judge more than others. And then I get to do a lot more judgy bits today. The good news is you guys didn't irritate me yesterday, so that was a win. So yay on that one, even with my judging of you from there. Don't forget about the homeworks, because I don't get to start really torturing you till Monday. Today, my heart is still like gigantic. It's the size of an acorn. And so because of that, I still get to be fairly nice to you. Tomorrow is a Friday. Who gets to be mad on a Friday? So my heart will be, again, the size of an acorn. Monday, though, we get to begin the fun on Monday, and that's where the torturing begins. Speaking of which, when is your notebook due?
Monday.
Do you think it's a coincidence the day the notebook is due is also the day I get to start torturing children, educating children? Not a coincidence. It's going to make for a fun day because I know over the weekend all the knowledge leaks out of your ears and seeps into your pillow, and you're going to show up on Monday and go, what? And then we get to begin the tear dancing. And so it's going to be fun. How's lunch been going? Good thing so far? Hopefully not super crowded on that one. If it helps, we have a lot more room this year because last year we had like 30 more kids in every lunch, and so you had a lot fewer seatings. Hopefully that makes things somewhat better for you. If you've not found where you're wanting to sit, you still have like through Monday or Tuesday of next week to keep moving seats and stuff like that. And then eventually, like some point next week, they lock you in and you can't move your seat anymore, so keep that in mind. All right, let's do a fun, well, it's not fun, homework responsibility check thing. So step 1, green sheet. Hold up green sheet, then you get to wiggle it at me, and you get to go, I'm responsible, and it's a happy day. All right, put green sheet down. Now, this next game, everyone gets to play except one of you who does not get to play. Point to where your name is on the green sheet because you wrote it on there, and if you wrote your name on my green sheet, we have to throw it. So there you go. Hopefully you have your name written on green sheet because if I find it, I get to give it back to you. Don't hurt yourself putting your own name. Then, for the notebook, how many of you guys already have notebook?
Yeah, but
You don't have to bring it in yet. Not until Monday. And that's fine. If you don't, we can always trade if need be. If you bring in a spiral notebook, we can do like a little exchangey thing. Then you're still being responsible. I won't have to hate on you too much. And how many of you guys have your picture? If not, again, when is picture due? Tomorrow, also known as Friday. If you don't have access to a picture, what can you bring? A note. Nicely done. If you have a picture but have no way to print it, what can you bring? A note. Nicely done. And if you write the note, then I just have to make fun of you. James?
My mom wrote a note.
That's good. Go you. Just make sure you bring in the note, and you're good to go. Yeah, then just have parent bring, or you bring in note their item, and I'm happy with that. I have already started finding iPads on my floor. Kids apparently wasted no time embracing being a 7th grader. If you leave iPad, please make sure I can identify who you are, because again, today and tomorrow, my heart is humongous, the size of an acorn. Next week, I get to start torturing you. And then again, if you have not put information on that iPad and I find it, I do not feel bad dancing on your tears because you have made that choice. I have given you the heads up multiple times. And if you embrace it, you make that choice. Same thing with the lock thing. I've been nice so far. I've been going through and using my key to unlock people's lockers for now. Next week, that's when the fun begins. So make sure that you have it written down and you can show it to me and stuff like that. I'm just trying to help you prepare for next week's big kid choices. Locker tails. I got to take care of those yesterday too. Be careful with your locker tails. Make sure you take care of it before I do, and I don't have to use my locker tail removal device.
There's another one at the bottom.
It is. If you have a bottom locker with a locker tail, you're safe because no one below you can lock it in there. It's only the top people who have to worry about a locker tail. Because down here, if it dangles out, it opens up, no one can trap it. So it's only top lockers. Bottom locker people, they are bottom locker, your life already sucks. And so it's just the top people you have to worry about it. So it's just the way it goes on that one. Yeah. Did we get to this with you guys yesterday?
Yeah.
With the hall doorways?
Yes.
Did it help?
Yes.
And for, my first period, God love them, did not help them because they just ignored it. I had multiple kids go, no, because I refuse to read signs. And I'm like, what was your option? And I go, I just walked down random hallways. And I'm like, good job, first period. So hopefully for you guys, I've given you how to figure it out, but if you just like wander around bumping into things, welcome to being a globetrotter. Speaking of which, did you guys help out other kids by pointing out signs to them?
I gave my friend a drink of their
Those of you who are good people, thank you for trying to help out others. Those of you who just sat back and ate popcorn while watching them bump into things, respect, but still be a good person at some point. So that was my goal, to try and help you guys out as far as that goes. Did we get to this with you guys?
Yeah.
Just all right. So the fact that you're on the Heroes team, we no longer have pods, and the fact that we are definitely competitive between the Globetrotters and Stars. Those of you who have friends who are Globetrotters and Stars, have they started trying to trash talk you about how they're better than you?
Yes.
If they have, it's because they're confused children. It's okay. They probably naturally have some kind of brain damage. And just you need to take pity on them because you're just a better person all around. And it's their jealousy that speaks up like that. It's nothing in the world on that one. If they haven't yet, it's just because they don't know any better. Or they're intimidated by you because you're a hero. And we no longer have pods because we are definitely competitive here and we just have the 3 teams. And you guys should realize every hero has the same 3 teachers. You have me, Melling for science, and then for social studies, Mrs. What's her name? There you go. Nicely done. Not butts, butts, like toots. And then nicely done from there. All right. Questions from there? And we have, oh, this is our symbol. You will start seeing this symbol around a lot. It represents our team. I put it on like our team t-shirt. It'll pop up on things places. And so this is our symbol that we have. This symbol here in the middle, that's me. I have the evil smiley face as my symbol. It was created years ago by kids because apparently, even though I smile and I'm a happy, friendly person, I have an evil dark side that seems to rear up when kids make poor choices. And so the fact that I would smile at them, but they would feel dead on the inside, they started comparing me to the evil smiley face. And then kids started bringing them in, which is why on my shelf over here I have like a whole line of different devil face things, because kids think it's hilarious to bring me something with a devil face on it and go, look, it's a stuffed animal of you. And they think they're adorable. And so that's why I have. So I just went ahead and slapped my face on there because I smile and I'm evil. And that works well. And then that's our symbol there. And then if you guys follow like European soccer or the football that's over there, the symbol was stolen from Barcelona. All 3 teams have their own symbol as we stole it from different teams. The phrase up there is Latin, Draco dormiens nuntas tintalantis. It means never tickle a sleeping dragon, which essentially means if there's a big scary thing that's not attacking you, don't give big scary thing reason to attack you. It's a metaphor. I'm your big scary thing. Don't give big scary thing reason to attack you. Because once this dragon gets tickled, game on. Let's attack some children. What we're going to do is we're going to have a conversation. So I figured let's jump straight into this whole discussion-y thing. So we're going to do like a little talky thing. And this is where I get a chance to call on you. As always, you're welcome to raise your hand if you feel you need exercise, but many of your hearts are already speaking to me, and they are already wanting to say different things. And so I'm going to give you a couple words, and we're going to see if you can come up with the definition for the word in your own opinion. There is no official right or wrong answer. This is more just my way of sort of seeing how conversations work in a class. The first one. Your definition of fear. So I'm going to give you a second, because here's what's going to happen. Robin is bravely raising her hand, but I don't know if her heart is the one that's talking to me. It could be any one of your hearts here in just a moment. So I'm going to give you just a second just to think, what is your definition of fear if I call on you, and this is where I'm being nice to give you that second to do a thinky thing, and then I'm going to figure out which heart is talking to me, and then we're going to figure out what your definition of fear might be. Worst case scenario, you can give me an example of fear, but we're going to get a chance to go from there and find out. All right. We feel strong with this one? Me too. All right. McClellan, I appreciate your bravery. I mean, not here, but your bravery was here. Your heart just called right at me and said, I feel I know this one, so I'm proud of you on that one, Jade. So Jade, what would be your definition of fear? Me. Hang on. So anytime when you give an answer, you always have to back it up with evidence in some way. So if you say, I am your definition of fear, back it up with evidence. Why would you say, I am your definition of fear? You have a second, I gotta pause this. Jade, sorry, I was closing the door. Why is it you think I'm a definition of fear? Let's back up. Have you ever been afraid? Let's back up. Are you afraid right now? That's very honest of you. Is it because I put you on the spot? Yes. That for most kids is one of the biggest fears ever, is being put on the spot. And what you're showing right now is bravery, because you've not broken down into tears, which is what all the kids right now are thinking they would do when I call on them. But here's the thing. Some of their hearts are calling to me also. Can we tag in? Hang on. How many others of you would define fear as me? Can you help out Jade and give a reason why you would define fear as me? How would you make this connection between the two? Drew? That's you, Drew.
Because you torment us.
I do torment some of you. Now I don't torment all of you. As an example, Brooklyn, have I tortured you yet today? Did you have your green sheet?
Yeah.
Was it on your desk?
Yes.
Eventually. Yes, good job. So in that case, there was no torturing of Brooklyn. Now, other kids maybe got tortured, but that was because it was by their choice. So realize, when I torture you, it's because you've invited me to torture you by not doing the things you're supposed to. So I don't just randomly torture a child. I torture you when you ask me to. All right, Robin, I'll be nice to you.
Okay. You have too much stuff in your room, and you'll also talk about torturing people.
So too much stuff causes you fear? How does too much stuff cause you fear?
It's overwhelming to look at.
That I would accept. That would be a good background on that one. And I've often heard that, the fact there's a lot to look at in my room, but that's because my personality can be somewhat overwhelming, and so the things in my room give kids a thing to look at. Everything in my room, by the way, was given to me by a student. It's just things I've collected over 23 years of teaching. Kids bring me stuff, and then I hang it up. And so almost everything in here I can connect back to the kid that gave me. Except maybe like 4 items would not connect. Like a couple items my mom gave me. Because my mom. Oh yeah, that was given to my student. That was given to my Toddy. And so that would be the fact that she brought it. It's a just like me doll, and then she brought it in because who doesn't want a creepy doll? Because it's awesome, and I can make it stare at children, and that brings me joy. And so yeah, for the most part, things in here were given to me in some way.
Bieber thing.
Justin Bieber, because I don't like Justin Bieber, and I think he's a very bad person. But a kid brought that in because they thought that was hilarious, because they wrote me a giant note covering the entire front of it, knowing I wouldn't get rid of it because I like the kid, and now I have to keep Justin Bieber in my room because the kid gave it to me, and sometimes that's how kids like to torture me. It's the same reason I have pickles back over here, because I hate pickles and they should die in the fire. But they brought me pickles because sometimes kids like to poke me, and they think it's hilarious to bring me things I hate.
What about the Star Wars big life-size thingy that I forgot?
Now we're getting distracted, and we're not talking about fear. Now you guys are going into the world of curiosity. And we're going to come back to that in a moment. So let's go to our next one, which is going to be courage and or bravery. Now, much like poor Jade a second ago, one of your hearts is going to speak to me, and you're going to have to tell me what your definition of bravery and or courage is in just a second. And so hopefully we're going to see how well we can make this connection between those two things. And again, here is where many of you are trying to confront your fear, and you're trying to figure out how to not have me call on you. Some of you are hiding your eyes. Some of you are trying to stare right at me. Some of you are going to your happy place. What's important is none of that matters. Your heart just talks to me. It's what hearts do. They just reach out to me and say, call on me next. And it makes it the bestest thing ever. Callan, what would be your definite... Callan. Letters are hard. That's why I don't use them myself. Callan, what would be your definition of bravery and or courage? Or can you give me an example?
Probably like public speaking.
Ooh. How so?
Because I don't really like it that much.
And so doing it would be an example of courage or bravery? I would accept that. For most kids, public speaking is one of their fears. As Jade pointed out earlier, being put on the spot and having to talk is public speaking, and most kids hate it. Which is why I do this. It's why I randomly call on you guys. I'm fully aware for most of you, your biggest fear is being called on. In my class, I need you to get over that fear. I need you guys to embrace your bravery and courage. And so the fact is, you're going to be just randomly called on and have to speak up on occasion. The worst that happens is you have no idea what the answer is, and people stare at you. That's usually the end of it. And then at some point, I get to call on that other person, and the same thing is going to happen to them. Michael, your heart has spoken to me, Michael. Did you just roll your eyes at your own heart?
Yes.
And you're like, heart, what are you doing? I know, hearts are the worst thing. I've removed mine, but I don't have
Rise
one.
of her soul.
So, Michael, can you give me your definition of bravery or courage?
Talking to you.
Ooh, how so? You have to back it up with evidence. What's that? Did you say I'm creepy?
Yes.
Not bad. Why? Back it up. Why do you find me creepy?
Because because you're like the definition of Dark Knight.
You say I am the definition of Dark Knight?
Like you know how Batman
Yeah.
is like really dark?
Yeah.
Like the definition of that.
All right, I can roll with that. Nice one. That'd be a good background on that one. So then you're saying courage is talking to me in general.
Oh, and you're also a definition of a witch.
Of a witch?
Yeah.
Expand. Is it because you think I'm afraid of water? And I'm going to melt?
Yeah.
In Wizard of Oz, the witches melted when you put water on them. That's why I was making a nice reference on that one. Good job, Jaden. And she does like the little melty thing when the water gets thrown on her. So how do you connect me to... Is that because I cast spells? Do I have a word on that?
I mean, you have like whatever that thing is.
My English stick of knowledge. It's an English stick of knowledge.
I don't see it. It's a staff.
This is what I use. I use my English stick of knowledge whenever I'm teaching. It's sometimes it helps me help educate kids. There is the pokey end, and then there's the friendly end, depending on just how much I like a child. And so that was my English stick of knowledge, which I use for educating. Sometimes I use it for smacking the screen, sometimes for educating a child. It just sort of depends on what kind of educating is happening. So you're saying that's like a witch's wand?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
love
like,
that.
and you just like, you seem like a criminal.
Ooh! Hang on.
He's gotten arrested a couple times. My
I have
sister
it.
told me.
3 times. Can you expand why you make me, I think, of a criminal?
Because you like are all happy and
We definitely have to take a timeout on that
not just no.
Okay.
No. Not because you're happy. You're like
Okay.
all happy. You're like happy when you torture kids.
one. Okay, now that would work. Okay. I was trying to figure out your connection. I'm like, criminals are happy or only happy people are criminals? But yes.
I don't know. You're probably like smiling. When you were like a criminal. I don't know.
I do have a smiley
What'd you
tie.
get arrested for?
I do smile a lot. I will agree with on that one too. All right. Then let's go to our next. Well, you're done with your courage on that one and speaking to me, even though I'm like a witch. Then assumptions, which is a big word. It's got like more than 8 letters in it or something like that.
6.
You see it has 6
Oh,
letters.
never mind.
Don't worry, no one heard you. Mari, were you telling me? Do you know what the definition of? Or do you have an assumption?
I know the definition.
Go for it, girlfriend. What you got? Sorry.
Hey, excuse me.
I'm sorry. Go for it, small child.
There's no need for the childness.
Go for it, person.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, I don't know how to pronounce
Assumption.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
that word, whatever it's called. As I was saying, it means like to like assume something to another person, or like kind of like sort of like blame something on somebody else, or like or frame them for something that they didn't do.
I can see that. So you're making a guess about them?
Yep.
All right, I could roll with that. Not bad overall. And no other things that we're gonna have to really work on bravery in this class a little bit. There's bravery, James.
Like to take a guess.
Mhm.
Like you could just, if I assume
Mm-hmm.
that you like collecting things,
Ooh, why do you say that?
yeah,
Why?
because you have a lot of things.
I do. Again, all things given to me by past students, but yes, that would be a solid assumption to make. And then on that, Jordan.
It's like assuming something is like making up to you and without knowing you. I mean, like I think that you hate small children. Which you do.
I do.
But I don't know that, do I? Because I've never met you.
That is true. So let's play this game then. Let's see what assumptions you guys come up with from being in my class for the last 2 days, or from looking around my room. What assumption do you think you could make about me or my room, but realize you have to back it up with evidence. So whatever you're coming up with, you're going to be able to back it up with evidence to support why you say that. Gage.
You're crazy because of everything in your class.
Not bad, I can say the crazy, but you have to be a bit more detailed with the everything in my class because...
Yes!
So,
Bye, witch!
what is